what we see taking place in this new paradigm is about getting more people to pay attention, because attention is the new currency. That's why I coined the term trap consciousness. It's about taking your followers. It's about taking your adherents. It's about taking your, you know what I mean? It's about taking that currency from you and having them pay attention to me now. I'm the man.
Yeah. Banging for followers.
Banging for followers. So what gets lost is going back to what we say, there's no identifiable purpose of the conscious community right now. There's no goal of the conscious community.
No trajectory.
There's no trajectory. There's no identifiable purpose. There's no identifiable goal. There's no, we can't even say that we're on a yellow brick road, because where are we going? We're not even on a road to Wakanda. There's no Wakanda in consciousness. It's only about what? Popularity, followers, attention, feeding the narcissistic personality disorders, and all of these other things that are taking place in the fishbowl of social media. It's bigger than consciousness. Please believe that. Consciousness is only a piece of that, because even on Black Twitter, in the woke community, they have their own issues. You feel what I'm saying? Even in hip hop, they got their own issues, but they fight differently. We were talking about this earlier. They beefing in hip hop all day. But their beef because of the fact that they have a level of leadership in that industry. You see the rappers, but the rappers got managers, the rappers got label heads, the rappers are signed to billion-dollar corporations.
Them phones ring.
Them phones ring. So they have a level of not only leadership, but government. We don't have government. And what we've been exposed as is a non-governmental people. Okay? Trying to figure this shit out as we go along. We don't have government. We got thought leaders, but we have no government. Nobody answers to anybody.
They will designate you as a stateless combatant.
They would designate you in governmental terms as a stateless combatant. And that's very dangerous.
Very.
Super.
Listen, man, any last thoughts before we wrap it up? Anything you want to leave with the people for 2018 and their plight for to better themselves?
Somebody asked me a question the other day, about what we thought about what's going on in the community, and what I would like to offer is that, and this is what I get based on an experience that we had last year, and the feedback that I got from young people in the street, and young people abroad. The reason that young people are paying attention to what we have to say is not only for information, but the most important thing that a young person wants to learn from elder, quote unquote, leadership is conflict resolution, because that's the road that especially melanated young males are going to come to. There's going to be the hardest, that's going to be their rocks in the road. That's going to be their stumbling spot.
Facts.
All the information in the world you could garner, you could get into your bit. At some point, you're going to bump heads with somebody. You're going to run into some level of opposition, and young people want to know, how do I curtail this? Because I know the standardized way. I know the way that the streets teach me. I know that the way that I grew up looking at and hearing about and what have you. I don't want to do that. I want to know the quote unquote conscious way to conflict resolve, to deal with issues, to deal with somebody who I just spent the last 6 or 8 or 9 months learning about myself, and that had me now appreciating this young man differently, to say, yo, that's my brother. You know what I'm saying? I see God in you. Namaste. And all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? My vibration is higher. I'm woke. Well, what are you woke to? You know what I'm saying? If you can't see him in you, even with his flaws. You dig what I'm saying? If you can't externalize the issue and say, yo, or maybe this is bigger than me. Maybe this is going to have a negative effect, not only in my community, but my direct household. You know what I mean? Maybe my lady might be a little bit terrified that we beefing now. Maybe my moms might be upset that we turned it up. You know what I mean? And I'm looking crazy on the internet. So young people are looking for ways in which to deal with conflict resolution. You feel me? So that would be the only thing that I want to impart on anybody that's listening. You know what I'm saying? That might find themselves in a sort of position at any point, not only in this year, but any point in their lives where you're now being engaged in a social media platform to go back and forth with somebody, and then you get into your feelings and you start letting it all hang out as if there's not people watching, as if it's not a digital file that will forever be with you, that your grandchildren's grandchildren will be able to access. If you could step back and say, yo, I'm okay with them looking at me in this particular format, or this is how I want my son to see how their daddy deal with conflict, then go right ahead. More power.